Tony, let me give you a story. Okay, I accidentally played like almost every Pac-Man game ever, and I want to get into why. Okay, so Pac-Man. What I do is I have a thing on Xbox Game Pass where I check the list of new releases that are coming onto it. But with the new releases of games that are coming onto Xbox Game Pass, there's always a list of games that are going off. And I always give a look at it and I go, oh, well, this is going to go off in a couple of weeks. I'm kind of interested in this. Let me check it out. And I was looking over it, and I looked over it and I went, oh, there's not really anything I'm interested in playing. And then I looked at it again and I went, Pac-Man Museum Plus. It appears to be a collection of a bunch of Pac-Man games. And I looked at it and I went, I've never really got Pac-Man. Like, I think most people in the world have played Pac-Man at one point or another.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very basic game that might, like, you'll go into Google and it'll be like, oh, it's the 20th anniversary of Pac-Man. Here's Pac-Man inside a Google Doodle. And I didn't get it. And I just sat down and I played Pac-Man, and I was like, yeah, it's Pac-Man. And I decided to just, as you play through it, you unlock new machines that have different Pac-Man games in it. Tony, I was not ready. There is so many fucking Pac-Man games, it's nuts. I think at this collection alone, there's like 14 different Pac-Man games. And it's not just
that's a crazy amount of Pac-Man.
The standard Pac-Man games. So what I've learned from playing them is this sort of game you would call a maze type game, which makes sense because Pac-Man's in a maze. Yep. You're going around collecting things. But I will say about standard Pac-Man, I think I like standard Pac-Man now more than I did. But I think some of the other Pac-Man games I played just made me more interested, because I think there's Pac-Man games with progression, it feels like. Because I feel like standard Pac-Man is a good like arcade fun, where it's like very quick and easy to pick up, but it never feels that satisfying to go through and play it. There's like Pac-Man games like full-on campaigns. Like, okay.
I think I have a stupid question. Like, are you now a Pac-Man fan where you would buy a Lego Pac-Man set?
I'm not a Lego. I'm not a Lego fan. So
that's the problem.
What I would say, I've gone from like just my general overview right now after playing all these Pac-Man games is I've gone from somebody who's like, I'm not sure I get Pac-Man, to I would say I'm somebody who enjoys Pac-Man games now. Like, I could sit down and play the like basic Pac-Man, the original arcade sensation, just for a while and just enjoy myself.
Right.
There's definitely Pac-Man games I enjoy more. There's definitely Pac-Man games where I have a lot of fucking questions. But like, oh man, like some of the Pac-Man games that are on here, I'm like, I feel like it's like Sonic the Hedgehog level. It's like some of them just go balls to the walls crazy. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? But let's move on to the next one, Tony, because this I literally said in the test recording, I'm not going to spoil any of these Pac-Man games until I show them to you.
This was just Pac-Man we just saw. Everyone knows Pac-Man.
Here's a Pac-Man game I've never heard of. It is called... wait, is there another Pac-Man? I think I just got... Here's Pac-Land.
Pac-Land.
How
old is this?
I think this is a arcade game.
What?
The controls confuse the hell out of me as well, because it's not like you press right to go right. You have to like randomly... You have to keep tapping a button to gain momentum the whole time, and then you like use that momentum to get across obstacles.
Okay, I'm not sure. How does anything like they do turn into?
But Tony, there's an entire subset of Pac-Man games that are platformers, like a whole bunch of Pac-Man platformer games.
Why?
Including like the we talked about in the podcast, the Pac-Man World Re-Pac. There's an entire set of there was an entire set of PlayStation 1 3D platformer Pac-Man games, and I've gone back and I've played the first one that they've remastered now. That is outside of this collection.
What's happening on the screen though? Like,
I'm collecting fruit.
No. You got to the end and some fairy came out of your hat.
I don't know the story of Pac-Land. Tony, the next game, I mean, that's got an even deeper lore story. I think I missed I'll explain it to what I saw to you, though. It was very confusing. I I think I like Pac-Land. It's very simple. It's obviously like a sort of arcade game.
It looks like you used MS Paint to make everything, which I guess is its own style.
Yeah, I think this one was just distributed through arcade cabinets. So
right.
A lot of the games I look at and I go, "Oh, this is a Japan-only game, right? There's no way they released this in the West." And then I look it up and they're like, "No, this was on like the fucking, this was on like the DOS. This was on PC as well." And I'm like, "What the fuck? I've never heard of this game." And I'm literally like I couldn't believe it exists, let alone that it was playable in multiple regions on multiple platforms, not just like a weird arcade game or something like that, you know?
I mean, yeah. I'm already baffled on the first one already, so I don't quite understand this.
Yeah, but Pac-Man, you kind of just keep running. There's these weird, like, springboard sections. Where you get to like a plank of wood and you have to jump off them, and then you go like jumping a really long distance, and it's always impossible to judge how far you will actually go.
Because of the momentum you built up.
Yeah. Let's have a look. I'm just reading, because all of the games, they have like, they're all presented in their original formats, like usually they're 4x3s. And then they have I love the arcade art. Like I imagine this is how it would look in an arcade. You'd have this sort of images around it. And at any time, the thing I like about Pac Museum is it's really easy to get in and out of the games. Like I saw some people say some of the games are not emulated as well as they could be in other systems. Like they're not as accurate as they should be. But it's just so easy to just open one up and just go, okay, I'm playing this game now. I'm playing this game now. It's also like, Pac-Man Museum's a strange game because, I'll go back to the start. You kind of walk around this 3D Pac-Man area, and as you play, you unlock more cabinets, and you can put cabinets down. You can like decorate the arcade, and yeah, it has this like gamified aspect of decoration as well.
So the actual like choosing every game has its own game. Yeah, I guess, I think that works. That's fine.
Let's move on to the next. So I like Pac-Land. It's not my favorite game though. It's very arcadey still.
Yeah,
and it's kind of some of the junks are kind of janky, and I think it's interesting to have the control method of mashing a button to gain momentum, but I think we establish, just using a joystick to move is the better movement method.
If you want to do that, shouldn't there be a momentum meter so you actually know how much you've got and how much you need to do to make jumps? Like, wouldn't that make sense?
I'm a big fan of doing things by feel. Like, one of my favorite games of this year is Balatro, and that is just maths by feel. You never calculate anything. You're just like, oh, it feels like I can make this blind. Pac-Land is, you do jumps by feel. And it feels awful.
Okay, there's the review.
But let's move on to the next one. Tony, this might be possibly... I think I fucked up. I think I'm only playing the one video and over again. Ah, shit. Give me a second. I need to do some live editing. Hang on. Okay, and we're back. I didn't fuck up the video. Tony, this is Pac in Time. This might be one of this. Yeah, like back in time. Okay, so let me explain the story of Pac in Time to you. There's obviously Pac-Man has an evil arch nemesis that's a witch. I'm trying to remember what happens in the story Pac in Time. It is such a fucking... I was playing this and I'm like, I can't believe this exists. Like, I've never heard of this.
Does the witch send the ghosts?
Oh, that would be a good plot point.
I'm just like, if you go by the original Pac-Man, like, just like, how do you extrapolate some of the weird stuff? Like, you're just like a weird ball that eats pills and eats ghosts.
Let me read the description from Wikipedia. In Pac in Time, players control Pac-Man. His mission returns to the present day after his nemesis, the Ghost Witch, cast a spell that transport him to his youth in 1975, 5 years before his debut appearance. The game spans the course of 5 different worlds with 10 levels each. I couldn't believe how fucking long this game was. I was like literally at level 10. I'm like, okay, this game's going to end soon. And I was at the end of world 1. I was like, what the fuck? There is 5 different worlds? So
that's too many.
The way the game works is there's like a start and a finish to each level, and you have to make it to the end. But the only way to get through the gate is to collect every single little orange thing. What is the thing Pac-Man eats? I don't even know what they're called.
I'll call them pills.
So yeah, you collect these little pills, and let me tell you, Pac-Man's moveset in this game is fucking strange. So you can see there, I have like a swinging rope.
Yeah,
why
is Pac-Man got that?
I can't underestimate how fucking janky it is to control this.
It looks pretty bad.
And to unlock these abilities, it's almost like every level's like a Metroidvania, where it's like you have to unlock these abilities to collect each of the little bits things, and then once you've got all of them, then you can get the next bits you need, and then you can get to the door with the full amount of bits, and then you can exit to the next level, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
So Pac-Man doesn't have the innate ability to swim, so you need to find the swim power-up. And as you go through levels, you're like...
that's how you're doing it.
Yeah, and then you need... I need the shooter power-up, and I need the rope power-up. And then there's like a hammer power-up that lets you destroy planks of wood that lets you get to another part of the level. It's like... You start to like see these like obstructions around the levels and go, oh, I know exactly which power-up I need, and then you go and find it and then use that. So you go through these rings, and going through these rings gives you the power-up, which is, you know, pretty standard game design. The really annoying thing is, Tony, if you go back through these, they will take the power-up away from you. And there is almost no reason to... I never came across a single reason why you would ever want to not have the power-up.
Oh, no.
But there's certain levels where you'll have to get up onto the swing and swing through these rings in order to pick up a power-up to let you progress through the next level, right?
Yeah.
But
you swim back through
the swing is so janky, most of the time what I would spending like 10 minutes swinging up onto this area to go through this ring to get the power-up I needed, and then accidentally swing back through it, fall off, have to climb back up, and then swing through it again, and then just hope to God I didn't fall off, or I didn't, you know, swing back through it. It was... Pac in Time...
I've seen a game where you you can lose your ability after you've gained it.
Pac in Time is, I would say, putting it nicely, a frustrating game.
Okay.
I don't hate Pac in Time. I think it is just it's so like interesting. Like it's so different from every single like Pac-Man game or just game in general I've ever played. Like it's so unique in a lot of ways.
That's fine, but I still have this distinct impression if the art style wasn't Pac-Man, it'd be a better...
Oh, okay, so...
It'd be a better game.
I did like a little bit of research. Apparently, the company that made this, they made this game before and then basically just rebranded Pac-Man onto it.
Okay. What does it originally look like?
I think it's like these little woolly creatures, maybe? Let me look up Pac in Time.
I just don't like the idea. I don't know. Pac-Man with shoes and gloves, I'm not feeling.
Fury of the Furries. They're like these little That was the original. That's the original Pac in Time.
Furry.
Yeah, so in 1994, Furies of the Furious was licensed to Namco, which changed the graphics and the music and released the game as Pac in Time as part of their Pac-Man series.
Oh, it looks way better.
The MS... So, there's multiple versions. So there's like... I think this is taken from the NES version. But there is MS-DOS and Macintosh version of the game, which are like almost identical to Fury of the Furries, but the NES version is a lot different compared to the original Fury of the Furries. Also, okay.
I'm just I'm just saying now, Fury of the Furries looks way better than this. I would play that. If you want this janky mechanics, play that instead, is my opinion.
So, one of the things I will say about Pac in Time, the music is great. I think it's one of the only redeeming features of the game, is I absolutely adore the music.
Is it the same music as the original Fury of the Furries?
I've never listened to the Fury of the Furries soundtrack, so I have no idea.
I don't know this game existed, but no, there's probably a second game.
A second Fury of the Furries?
Yeah.
Or Pac in Time, I don't know.
Fury of the Furries 2 is on Steam, apparently.
In this video, I'm only going to be covering Pac-Man games that were in the Pac-Man Plus museum, but I'm sure there's like a billion.
Oh, probably, yeah.
You know, maybe after this point, I mean, Tony, this year I said, hey, I'm going to play as many Japanese games as possible. And what's more Japanese than Pac-Man? I mean, come on. A series I'd never touched, really. And now I'm playing all the Pac-Man games.
Personally, I thought you completed Pac-Man, but I guess we'll wait to the end of the... Maybe.
I'll tell you what I didn't complete. I didn't fucking complete Pac in Time. I said, fuck this shit. I got to the end...
World 1.
I got to the end of World 1, and there was this point where there was these blocks on lava, and it was like... Pac in Time works on a life system, and if you run out of lives, you then have to start the level from the beginning. And I think the final world's level had a mission where there was lava, and if you touched it, it was one-hit kill. Because you have a health bar in Pac in Time.
Yep.
And if that depletes, you die, and then you restart the level, but all the stuff you've collected and all the that stays. And then if you run out of lives, you have to restart the mission. I think the game does have a password system, which was very popular back in the day, where if you complete a level, it'll go, okay, write this down. You can then get to this level if you want to, because you got the password, which I think you just don't see that stuff anymore. That was like an arcade thing.
You don't really need that anymore. There's other ways you can do that if you want to.
Imagine if that was still in games. Like you were like, somebody told you the part.
You have to put in a
password. Or if there was the option to be like, you know, I don't want to play through 8 of the levels. Let me just go straight to level 9. I can't say that would be a bad feature in some games. Just like, I don't want to play this level, I'm going to skip it.
Yeah, but that is literally just an unlocked checkpoint system. Just I would agree, like making all levels should be unlocked from the start as a checkpoint system, like in case you played the game before, but now just installing it for the first time.
Tony, I've got like half an hour more footage of. I've played this game a lot. I genuinely tried to keep going until I was like reach the end, and then I realized I was okay. This is the part I was talking. This is the part I was like, I'm rage quitting this game.
Okay.
Almost. This is not the fun. I got past this part, but
the branch
fucking
animation
hell.
is actually better than I thought it would be. But okay, that's not
so you have to jump up there, grab that. Then that gives you the swing, but then you also need to swing up there. And to swing up there, you need to grab on up there, but then you can go back through the thing that gives you the swing.
That is infuriating.
And some of the swing jumps you have to make are like impossible. Like they just don't make sense. They don't give you enough swing space to actually make them. And I look up videos of people doing it, and I'm like, yeah, I still don't understand how you did this. This makes no sense. But yeah, Pac in Time. I think it's up there for one of the most interesting Pac-Man games it's a Pac-Man game. It was like a platforming Pac-Man game with a fully expansive level set that is based on a completely different game. And it's also this weird like game that was released on multiple platforms like MS-DOS and Macintosh and I think NES. And it has a cool soundtrack. But I am not fucking playing more Pac in Time. This game is frustrating.
And I guess by extension, you're not playing a Fury of the Furies either.
I mean, Fury of the Furies might be better than this. I mean, if the MS-DOS version is different, then we'll see.
I think it plays the same, but it just looks different from the versions from what I'm seeing. And I'm just saying the aesthetic. I don't know. Pac-Man. I'm not feeling what Pac-Man looks like here. That's what I'm saying. Fury of the Furries 2 I might look into actually. Now know these games exist.
Let's move on to the next Pac-Man game. And next we have here we go. Is this Pac-Mania? I think Pac-Mania it's definitely one of my favorite maze Pac-Man games. Because I think.
Oh wait, you can't see all of it at once.
Because I think it's my favorite because you can have the ability to jump, and I think adding the ability to jump to Pac-Man makes it infinitely better, in my opinion.
Well, I think you've gained jump, but you've lost being able to see all of the maps. So you've you're more zoomed in, which is interesting.
But I think it makes it more strategic because a lot of the time I would be like, okay, I want to clear the center of the map because sometimes I jump over power-ups because I'm like, I don't need this yet. Yeah. And in like standard Pac-Man, you might have to take a power-up. You're like, okay, I'm gonna die if I don't take this because there's a ghost behind me. But in this game, you can kind of leave stuff and jump over it. Or if you get in trouble and ghosts are coming for you, you can jump over the ghost as long as you have enough space. And it actually makes Pac-Man a lot more. It makes it more strategic, but also more reactive.
Sure. Yeah. Well, why is this level Lego, by the way?
I don't know. It has this Lego aesthetic. Don't ask me. But I would say, like, if I was doing a tier list of Pac-Man games, Pac-Mania would be up there. I really like Pac-Mania.
Yeah,
it's like if you were like, let's sit down and play like a standard Pac-Man game, Pac-Mania would be one I would choose to play. It's just really fun. And sit down and play through some of these levels. Also, I feel like through playing Pac-Man, I slowly learned like some more of the Pac-Man Ghost AI because they do have distinct AI.
It says the last screen there what they do. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm always terrified of Pinky because Pinky will just fucking run at you. Inky, the like light blue one. I'm never scared of because he has no idea what he's doing. He just moves like randomly. He just goes everywhere. Red, I don't really care about. Blue, the funky one is a bit scarier because he's fast, but he's not really chasing you. Like in some of the later Pac-Man games, I don't know if they changed it. They definitely I think they do change up some of the AI, like Pinky in some of the later games. I think it's Pac-Man 256. He will just as soon as he sees you, he'll just beeline for you and just chase you down. So as soon as he gets line of sight of you, he will come for you basically. That's how he works in those games.
It's more interesting, but it's still very much the similar technique. Just more interesting to deal with it with the jump. But yeah, I guess if I was going to
I didn't explain how Pac-Man Museum Plus works. So Pac-Man Museum Plus works on a coin system. So these are mostly arcade machines, and the game spawns you in with 500 coins, and you can put as many coins in as you want. Basically, I never ran out of coins. Basically, so I could just basically play as much as I want.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the games are set up like arcade machines, and I'm like, oh, you can continue if you have more coins, and I'm like, well, I'll just put in another, couple of coins, and I can keep going.
Which is cool, a cool way to do that. If you have your world already.
But everything is, it's so interesting to see how the games were designed when you didn't have the coins, or it's like, oh, if I would need to put more money into it, and you could see how, the arcade game design is basically designed around incentivizing you to keep playing while also trying to make the game fun. Which I feel like it's something we'll not say for the more... imagine somebody's nostalgic and they're going back and going, oh, I'm playing all of the gacha games. I love how, Genshin Impact is designed to make me want to spend money on anime waifus. It's so, nostalgic.
I could see... You'd have to, I think your point still stands, but I could see them doing that, but have to massively edit it, so there's an external game where you can unlock it in a more interesting way that isn't.
Oh, Tony!
Obviously, it can't be predatory anymore.
There's a new tile set. I'm in a race course for some reason.
Oh yeah, what the hell? Okay. Well, I like the map. I like the look of the maps, I suppose.
I was gonna say. I said I was gonna play Japanese games. I can't play gacha games because they're all fucking Chinese. Not a lot of people know this, but a lot of the gacha games are actually most of them are Chinese. I think I might have committed to saying I will play a Final Fantasy game this year, which is
you did.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I would play. Like, I would play a. I want to play 16.
16?
It's not on PC though. I've checked.
What about 7 Remake?
7 Remake is on PC, but it's fucking expensive. It's like 70
pounds coming soon.
Yeah, but it's like it's like £70 off sale, and then it's like it goes down to like what, 40 quid or something. Yeah, like
I think it was 50% off last summer or last Christmas.
Strangers of Origin is on Steam, the Chaos game.
Oh, I'm gonna defeat Chaos. Just call it Chaos, and I'll know which one it is. Call it Chaos,
yeah.
I just find it funny finding that I'm defeat Chaos with like Warhammer Chaos. It just kind of wouldn't work, but I just found that.
But yeah, Pac-Mania. If I was rating the Pac-Man games, this would be great tier. One of the best ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would. Yeah, this is interesting.
Let's move on to what might be. Oh, hang on. I forgot there was a Pac-Man game in between this. So as you play through the cabinets, you unlock all this stuff. So I'll have like an Inky running around my thing. There's a Pac-Man Battle Royale game which I played, but I was playing it by myself, and I was like, "Is this really the intended?" Surely it's for like multiple people. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it's like a 4-player arcade.
I mean, there was Pac-Man 99, right, on the Switch. Wait, is that still a thing, or did they get rid of it? Because they got rid of like the Mario one. They got rid of the Tetris one.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I have one of them downloaded on my Switch, and I can't remember which one it is.
There's still Pac-Man Championship, yeah. I don't know if Pac-Man 99 is good.
Pac-Man Championship Edition is inside Pac-Man Museum Plus.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that makes sense.
What confuses me, because there's a Steam bundle of all the Pac-Man games, and inside of it is Pac-Man Championship Edition and like the arcade games of Pac-Man and Pac-Man 256, and I'm like, yeah, but literally all of those games I just listed are inside Pac-Man Museum Plus. Why do you also need the standalone version of them?
I don't know. You just want to play them separately. I don't know. Yes. Oh my.
Yeah. So basically, how you play Pac-Man Battle Royale is you have to collect the power up to become big, and then you need to knock out your opponent. And I think you can play 4-player as well. But I think it would be a lot more interesting with real players, because I found that I could like almost systematically guarantee where the CPU was going to go after a while.
Yeah.
And it became very easy to win.
I think it's 4 people and arcade cabinet that'd be interesting, so you'd be right there shouting and screaming.
Yeah. I didn't like, because the little dots are interesting because they change how the power-up spawns. So the initial power-up doesn't spawn until you've collected all of the little bits.
I quite like that. That's a cool way of doing that, actually. I quite like that. I guess that's kind of like Mario-esque, right? We like collect all the things and then it pops up a star.
And then you also have like the ghosts don't come out until like a certain amount of time. So it's just PvP for a while, and then the ghosts come out, and it's like PvP. Most Maze Pac-Man games, I think, start with 2 ghosts out and 2 ghosts in. I can't remember which ghosts it is, but usually you'll have at the start of the game, you have a little bit of time to get around and start clearing, and then they'll release more ghosts as the game progresses.
Yeah.
But from a single-player perspective, which is what I played, Pac-Man Battle Royale is not very interesting.
It has some interesting mechanics, and I think you need to have them physically next to you and screaming. I think it could be interesting. I'm not sure about how long, but
yeah.
Well, this is just called Pac-Man Royale, or does it not have an official name?
I think it's called Pac-Man Battle Royale is its name.
That is actually okay.
Yeah, it's called Pac-Man Battle Royale. That's its name.
Interesting.
Let's move on to what, Tony? I think this may be my favorite Pac-Man game ever. This is Pack and Roll. And as someone who's never played Super Monkey Ball, I think this is what Super Monkey Ball is.
Oh, it's this one. I've seen this before. Yeah, okay.
If you have seen this before, it is not a game that you would ever like accidentally ever played unless. So
no, I'm not.
It's like. Oh, it's my enemy, Golvis. So basically the way it works is you roll around these areas, you have like so you control like a ball. You have like a momentum system, and then you have like a dash.
Yeah, this is great.
So when you need to get up until like Tony, I sat down and I completed this. And it's got like a campaign of like 6 different worlds with like 6 different levels on them. I sat down and I just completed the entire thing in one sitting. I was like, this is so fun. I'm gonna keep playing this. Like Pack and Roll is really good. So initially, this was a game on the 3DS, and you would control the ball rolling with a touch screen. So you would take your stylus and you would and you would physically like drag the stylus across the screen to do the rolling. I'm like, that does sound awful. Then they did like a HD version on the Wii, and I guess that was motion controls, which also sounds kind of awful. But Pack and Roll Remix on the Pac-Man Museum Plus is just the game with analog controls with a controller.
Nice.
I played every game with a controller. I didn't test any of the keyboard controls, but I just assumed most of them would work better on a joystick, given that most of them are arcade machines.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a few like interesting, unique mechanics in Pack and Roll as well for the different platforming levels on the challenges. So there is like water. There's like water sections on some of the Pac-Man levels, and you'll need to go underwater. But Pac-Man's too light to go underwater. But you can get a power-up called the Night Power-Up, which gives Pac-Man a suit of armor. And then once you get the suit of armor, then you are heavy enough to go under. There's also boxes, and some of the boxes are metal. So you need the armor to destroy the metal boxes. And I think there's also wind, which you get blown back less by the armor suit. There's also another power-up, which gives you like a winged hat, which lets you go like lowers your gravity, so you go like way further when you jump and stuff. And there's lots of like unique mechanics in Pack and Roll. It's actually quite an interesting game.
I quite like the way that like you sort of find the power-ups to like kill the enemies that you normally have to avoid them. I quite like that. This to me seems a much better progression from the normal Pac-Man. Like this just translates way better. Like this I don't know how it feels, but it looks like Pac-Man. Like
I think this might be
it feels like Pac-Man to me.
This might be the best way to play Pack and Roll, because I can't imagine playing it on like a 3DS screen, like rolling it, or like a Wii. Like I think.
On the Steam Deck, I could see this.
You can get Pac-Man Museum Plus on Steam. It was on sale, like
I'm gonna have to get it just for this.
It was on sale before it went off Game Pass. I think they were trying to. I see this a lot actually, where I go onto the store page of a game that's going off Game Pass to be like, oh okay, let me look up what people are saying about it, and it's usually on sale when it's going off Game Pass. I hope because they're trying to onboard people that have started playing the game. I guess.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But it goes as cheap as like £5-6, I think. So like, and you get like
15.
I think at the moment it's £17, and it says the cheapest it's been like is £6-7 on third-party sites, and then £8.50 on Steam. So it's still pretty cheap.
That sounds reasonable. Yeah. I think
I would have considered buying
£10 for
if I knew what I knew now and I hadn't have played these games. I would have got it on Steam for sure. The thing is, I had it on Game Pass and I played every single game in it. Like a lot of them to completion, and I was like, okay, I don't need to buy this on Steam anymore. But there is some really cool games in there. There's some really, really cool games in there. So if you haven't,
why don't we get it just for this one so far? So
if you're somebody who's like, I want to go into Pac-Man and see what it's all about, Pac-Man Museum Plus is a great place to start, as somebody who also just went into Pac-Man completely blind. Oh, so this is the night power-up, Tony. So you collect them in little boxes.
Oh, okay. That's just pretty cool. See, no hands, no legs. That's what Pac-Man should do.
Yeah, Pac-Man has hands and legs in like a lot of the platforming games. It's like, you know when they did the Sonic movie for the first time and they gave him those really like weird teeth, or like the Sonic Boom
and his eyes
when he had like really elongated limbs, and it was like, why does he need these really elongated limbs?
Yeah.
So you basically a lot of the level structure of Pack and Roll is you'll go around these general levels, and then you'll get to the end, and the final mission will be a boss fight. And usually the boss fight will be you need to collect 3 power-ups while avoiding the boss attacking you, and then you need to hit him 3 times. Like most bosses in most games, the rule of 3. You know, you do it 3 times, and then you're done.
It's very Mario-like.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I bet it's fun. I'll see if I got a boss fight on here.
The momentum, I think, changed. Like this looks way more. Yeah, this again like translates from actual Pac-Man way better in my head, and just it looks fun to play.
We've got boss stage. I think World 2 is a boss stage.
Guys, can we? If you want to make new games, can you make a new Pac and Roll? Pac and Roll.
We need a new Pac and Roll. Okay, here is a boss stage. The Gyro Jungle.
Maybe it's just because I'm accepting like the with the look of it and like the play. I'm like, oh yeah, these are clearly like enemies that make sense, but it doesn't make any less or more sense to the other stuff we saw. So I think I'm just biased. Just biased.
All we know is that Pac-Man always has ghost enemies. You know, he hates ghosts.
Yeah.
He's not like 1 in 3 Americans. You know, he doesn't believe in ghosts.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like I want like a Luigi's Mansion Pac-Man. That's kind of what I want.
Well,
he just goes into a haunted mansion, just kills all the ghosts.
Pac-Man is Bandai Namco, so I think it's more likely we'll get a crossover with like Elden Ring than it is Nintendo. But we'll see.
Boss, he just rolls around.
When we had like Sonic in Smash Bros, so
it's true.
We've had a lot, like we had Banjo-Kazooie in Smash, we had Joker from Persona in Smash, like there's a lot of crazy crossovers.
We had Steve
from Minecraft. Yeah.
Yeah, Smash
we had Sans from Undertale as a
I forgot about
as a Mii fighter skin. He wasn't an official he was like
no, but
yeah,
that's still amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Fighter Pass, I mean, obviously they're making a new Switch at some point. And all I'm saying, you want to sell a lot of units of a Switch 2, you need to make a Pac-Man game for the Switch 2. It'll go hard. Pac and Roll 2! Switch.
No, call it Pac and Switch. Call it Pac and Switch.
Pac and Switch sounds like one of those mini-game collections. It doesn't sound like a Pac-Man game.
Oh, okay.
You know, like 1-2 Switch?
Pac-Man, you go Switch and Roll? Switch and Roll. If it's not a Pac-Man, make it Switch and Roll. It's Pac-Man, just call it Pac and Roll 2.
But yeah, Pac and Roll remix. Sat down, complete the whole thing. Amazing, really, really good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, Pac-Moto. This is another game where you play as like a Pac ball. And it looks similar to Pac and Roll. Maybe I'll like this. I do not like Pac-Moto. It essentially comes down to pushing things off the edge of a map.
That was awful.
Yeah, and I also don't understand how a lot of the mechanic. They have this thing where it's like, do you want to start with these power-ups? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I collect them and they seem to do nothing. And I'm like, I don't even understand what these are doing. This is kind of the whole game. There's a boss stage that I attempted like a bunch of times, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting this. Like, what's
with the comet hitting your thing right at the end to try and kill you? Like, what the hell's that?
I think it just like systematically comes down and destroys parts of the level to make it a bit harder.
It's just chances at the end. Okay.
No, I think it's on a timer.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this at all. This is awful.
Again, the thing is, with every arcade cabinet, I was just like, I'm just going to load up, play it for a bit, see if I enjoy it, and then I'll just load up another cabinet. It was so easy to just move from game to game. I don't know.
They're no crabs to me. Look, I'm a crab.
Oh, I think if you push off these little things, you get like bonus points.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of time, you know... Pac-Man, I would say, like, a lot of the time in Pac-Man, it still has that arcade mentality, where it's like, you can do this if you want to, it won't give you anything useful. You'll just get more points. Like, it very much has that mentality of your main, like, drive should be to try and get the highest score possible, even if that's not giving you, like, oh, it's an upgrade that's going to help me later on, or it gives me, like, this really cool story moment or whatever, right? Like, Pac-Man is... I'd say Pac-Man is almost always a gameplay first game, and it's almost always a game that is focused on the immediate experience of playing it, which I think I can appreciate sometimes. It is just like that fast-paced, quick gameplay. It's like get in, have some fun, and get out.
Considering the heritage, it makes a lot of sense.
But I think most of the time, the Pac-Man games I enjoy the most are the ones that are longer and have more, like, to them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like Pac and Roll.
Like Pac and Roll.
I just want Pac and Roll too. I think nothing's gonna top Pac and Roll at this point.
This is the boss fight.
This game definitely doesn't. Oh, okay. This is more interesting, but still.
I was reading the game guide and I was like trying to figure. I was like, how the fuck do I use these because it says you have special attacks, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
How do I use the special attacks? And I'm like, I'm pressing this button and nothing's happening. But the thing is with this game is, as soon as you get pushed off, you're immediately dead. And this boss fight was like, it constantly puts you in positions where it's like, if you want to do damage, you have to get in a really dangerous position. And if he like suddenly turns around, you don't have enough time to actually not just immediately die. And it's like, so like playing through this boss fight the quote unquote correct way is just playing as safe as possible and just kind of doing nothing. From what I understand, there's someone out there right now who's furiously typing that I'm playing Pac-Moto wrong, and I'll just address it now. Yes, I'm playing Pac-Moto wrong. I don't understand how this game works.
You're never gonna play Pac-Moto again.
I don't want to play Pac-Moto again. No, because it's like, look, it's like, oh, you can jump over stuff, and I'm like, how? Yeah. I don't understand. I'm pressing the button it's telling me in the options, and I'm not jumping. I don't understand. But yeah, I don't rate Pac-Moto very high. Even though it looks very much like Pac and Roll Remix. Like, it looks like the same assets.
Yeah. The same UI, the same selection screen, the same... Yeah.
It's gone to... Is that the Pac-Man 256? I don't know if Pac-Man 256 is like a well-liked Pac-Man game, but I actually quite liked it. Because I feel like this is just my like temperature take of Pac-Man players is they love the old Pac-Man games, but they don't like the new Pac-Man games. But I don't know if that's true. That's just what I assume.
So this is just Pac-Man but isometric.
No. Okay. This is Pac-Man, but as a roguelite with upgrades.
Oh wait, hold on. Hang on, the code is breaking.
Yeah. What I like about this game is it gives you like a constant sense of you need to go forwards.
Yeah, that's cool.
But if you look at the
really cool then. Really?
Yeah.
So it's like the other way around of like the games you have to always go up sort of thing.
Yeah.
The jump platform thing, but in a maze that you're always going forward.
Like a lava level. You can see like pinkies as soon as they see you, they just beeline for you. Or like the grey ones, they're asleep until they see you and then they wake up.
Do they gain a colour when they're...
No, they're just like a grey colour.
They stay grey all the time, do they?
But I like how it counts how many pellets you've ate in a row, so you can be like trying to constantly trying to increase that number. And there's like quests sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like in order to unlock this power up, you need to collect this many coins.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Or like the random fruit, it's like eat 3 oranges and then we'll give you some bonus credits.
Yeah. This seems good. I'm already liking the concept.
Yeah, I like Pac-Man.
I like how the start is the normal map. You just start the normal place that is continued forward.
So you get these new power-ups that replace like the the normal mode where you turn invincible and then you eat the ghosts, and then it gives like a nice twist to the gameplay. Oh, wait till you see the laser. The laser's sick.
I'm kind of interested in the late. I see you kill things from a distance, I assume?
Yeah. So this is still a standard power-up because it's just a power pellet.
Yeah.
But then you'll see like the laser on the floor and you can tell what the power-up is. You can have 3 of them at a time. So you can like... And then you can like switch them out like a loadout. So I'll try and go towards this laser. So basically, whenever I turn and look in a direction, it shoots out a laser that'll just one-shot the ghosts.
That's hilarious.
But then here's the icebox. This will basically freeze all the ghosts. They'll move really slow, so I'm a lot harder to catch.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then basically the main like progression of the game is you always start off with nothing and you like start run again. But the sort of more meta progression, like the road light element, is you can spend coins on the power-ups to make them slightly more powerful.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good way to do it.
But you can only ever take 3, and there's never like you never make Pac-Man more powerful.
Yeah, you still have to find the power-ups in the game, which is nice.
The way they do the power-up makes them feel more like a loadout, where it's like, oh, I'm going to choose these 3 and combo them together.
Yeah,
then
you have choices and you think about it and strategize. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because a lot of the time, like when you pick up the laser power-up, you can shoot lasers out from afar and take people up from distance, but you're not like invincible to the ghosts anymore. You can still get hit in the back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then with the icebox,
distance is kind of insane.
Icebox is really good because you can get through a lot of them really quickly by avoiding them, but then you're no longer able to kill the ghosts to stop them from coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, I quite like Pac-Man 256. I actually think it's a really fun game.
Yeah, it's good.
I initially went into it thinking, oh, it's a newer Pac-Man game. Is it going to be it's another maze game? But I think the whole like scrolling thing, because I feel like with Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man,
that was boring.
Yeah, you just kind of do the same thing over, like it's literally the same thing over and over again.
I've seen it so many times, like I've already played it a few times, but I don't want to play the original.
But this like dynamically changes, and the power-ups always keep it fresh. And also on top of that, there's skins, so you can basically change up how the game looks. So I'll see if I. Okay, so here's another skin. Here's like classic Pac-Man in Pac-Man 256.
So you can just change the look of the whole thing. So I quite like the pixelized look is kind of interesting. It's completely different than what you normally see of Pac-Man. So this is nice.
But here's like the look of the original Pac-Man. Here's the classic 80s. The Grid, as this is called. So this is like you know, like the tank game.
Where's the plastic brick option?
Everyone has like this trail to them, like Tron.
Oh, Tron, yeah. That's like Tron.
Wait, I think they might have a Pac-Mania skin. Oh, here's the chicken and trucks skin.
That's the real. I like that one. That one's cool.
There's a robot one. Where you're playing as like a robot in the grid.
You're a PCB. That's so cool. Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, there's like, I think that's like championship. There's office Pac-Man, we have to avoid the office chairs.
That's good as well. I like the funny ones.
And then I think
they put way more thought than I was expecting into this.
Yeah. And I think there's just like an option to have random, so I'll just like randomly choose one. But there is.
That's kind of cool.
But I think it makes it interesting enough that you could just keep playing this over and over again.
The office chair.
The office chair ghost, yeah.
It's just when you're eating off your chair, destroying them.
I think Pac-Man 256 is a good Pac-Man game. I like this game.
Yeah, that's good.
Then next up we have Pac-Man Championship Edition. I quite like Pac-Man Championship Edition. I played the standard mode. What makes this really cool is it starts off as like a standard Pac-Man game, I would say.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about it is every time you finish the level, it basically resets it, but it makes it like there's more pellets to pick up and the ghosts go faster. So it starts off like a normal Pac-Man game, but the further you go, the quicker and quicker it gets, and it becomes like almost like a Twitch game, you know, like a Twitch FPS game. Where it's like you have to quickly move, and it's really engaging, I think, compared to like standard Pac-Man. I know exactly, you know, it slows down. I have to pick up this many pellets, and then it's like, it's not like a sudden like, oh my god, the ghosts are like super fast. It's like gradually over time you get faster and the ghosts get faster, and it just it feels really natural.
Yeah.
And it has it to like this cool the music as well. Great. Yeah.
I love the fact that the outside is pulsating. I don't know why I like that. It's kind of distracting, but I guess it shows how fast paced the current mode is. Right? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've seen, as I said before, like, I've seen Pac-Man Championship before. I've seen like people to talk about games. They just have it in the background, and like, oh, this is quite good to watch.
If you ever like, I wish Pac-Man was fast paced. Pac-Man Championship Edition is for you.
Yeah.
This is Pac-Man for like all the Quake players out there, you know.
Yeah.
Pac-Man ADHD Edition is what somebody said on the store page. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I
think fast-paced Pac-Man is fun.
Because if you're good at Pac-Man, surely you can go fast. So like, I think.
Yeah.
Do OG Pac-Man players like this or not? Or do you not know?
I can't really get. It's got good reviews on Steam, so people like it. Whether like hardcore old school Pac-Man fans like it, I have no idea.
Well, the people have spoken.
I love that all the remixes of like Pac-Man songs, you always have that like Pac-Man motif in the background.
Yeah.
Did it? Of like the original Pac-Man power-up song is like
drum and bass Pac-Man.
Yeah. But yeah, Pac-Man Championship Edition. It's cool. I like it. I'd recommend playing it.
Yeah, I've seen it before. It looks good. It still looks good.
Because I played Pac-Man Championship Edition in this collection. There's Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus and Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 on Steam. I have no idea what the difference between them is. So they might be completely different. I just played the one that was on the Pac-Man Museum.
Makes sense.
Let's move on to the next one. We have Pac-Man Arrangement Remake. This may be again one of my favorite Pac-Man games. This one's up there. This is a remake of an original game called Pac-Man Arrangement that I played in the reverse order. So I played the remake before I played the original in the arcade, and I gotta say, I much prefer the remake, I think.
Okay.
But Tony, I love these little animations. It reminds me of like bowling alley animations, where essentially it goes, okay, if you pick up a power-up, you can turn around and kill the ghosts. But every single level adds a new mechanic, almost. Like every single couple of levels add a mechanic. So suddenly you'll go to a level, and then they'll add like an animation where it shows, now there's teleporters in the level, so you can teleport between different areas. Or now there's doors that will open and close randomly, and you need to play around that. And it makes for really interesting gameplay that adds a really nice twist on the maze gameplay of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Also, I think the art style's quite cool. I think if I was going to pick between the original art style and this art style, I think I prefer the original art style, which I'll show to you later. But
this is a bit too. This is clean to me. Is it not so clean in the original?
Bowling alley. The original's 2D. It's like pixels.
Yeah, I kind of think you're the bowling alley. It does feel like bowling alley animation feel for sure.
Let's go to like a new level. New mechanics, speed boosts. Speed boosts are cool because they stun ghosts. Yeah, there's tons of like really weird, cool mechanics in this game.
That is cool. The music's also great. It reminds me of Mario bit, or like Yoshi or something.
It's just classic arcade music, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Old school music. Well, I like them because not only do they let you boost across the map, but they also give you the mechanic of stunning the ghosts so you don't take damage from them. I think playing through this collection, I got a lot better at Pac-Man, in my opinion. I don't know, because I almost never played. I almost never played this in Pac-Man twice, but most of them were fairly similar. But yeah, let's go to a later level. We've got platforms that go up and down. We have pipes, conveyor belts, speed pads. We've got bridges that go up and down, so they completely change how the maze can be completely traversed on the fly. They just randomly go up and down.
Oh, okay.
Which is really, really interesting. But I sat down and I played this entire thing. And now we're in Bikini Bottom.
Yep.
But yeah, Pac-Man Arrangement Remake is really cool. And it has this good structure of every level feels like its own unique thing. So it feels like there's a progression to it, and then it has an ending. There's a credits roll.
Oh, right. Nice.
There's a boss fight.
Wait, they're in it. Wait, what? There's ghosts in a ship?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of Pac-Man inside a ship, and then you need to collect the power-ups to kill them when they go into ghost mode. Yeah.
Yeah. They stole a Dr. Robotnik machine and now they're controlling it.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
And then there's like abilities that you get so you can jump. So you need to like jump over like electric beams they send out. But yeah, you go.
Oh,
Pac-Man Arrangement. I played the whole thing. It was great.
The images of the lads are fantastic.
No, I know what you're saying, Tony. You're saying, okay. There's a lot of different weird Pac-Man games. I need to talk about Miss Pac-Man quickly, actually, now that I've seen her.
Miss Pac-Man.
Okay, so there's a legal dispute between, I think, so Bandai Namco owns Pac-Man, but they don't own the rights to Miss Pac-Man. And Miss Pac-Man is in a lot of the original Pac-Man games. So I think for Pac-Man World Re-Pac, where Miss Pac-Man is in, they actually just replaced her completely with a new character called Pac-Mum, which is like a woman with like a pink hat on and some lipstick.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. Joe, Pac-Man would never make a Tetris game. Tony, here's where I'm going to tell you you're completely wrong. Of course Pac-Man made a Tetris game.
Sorry, so it's called Pac-Attack.
It's called Pac-Attack, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we've seen so many Tetris clones from different studios at this point, right? I mean, with, Dr. Mario? That's like the Mario version of Tetris.
Yeah.
Good music as well on Pac-Attack. I'm just looking. So basically, the way it works is you need to create lines out of the blocks, but the only way to clear the ghost is by having Pac-Man eat them, and he can't eat them if he's blocked by the actual blocks. So you want to line it up so you have like the blocks in a row together to clear lines, but you leave the ghosts exposed in order to eat them with Pac-Man.
Yeah, this is weird. Having different blocks within the shape you're placing is weird.
So this came out way... I thought this would have came out way early. This came out in 1993, apparently, for the NES. I thought if you're going to make a Tetris game, you put it on the NES for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, Tony, one thing I will say now. I never really got Tetris games, and I feel...
Oh, really?
I feel dangerous saying this because that means that I could at one point just start playing every Tetris game ever made in order to try and understand Tetris games.
Well, you know Tricky Towers.
I like Tricky Towers, but Tricky Towers is basically not Tetris. It's like it's Tetris with physics, which makes it not Tetris.
I think it has a lot of the ideas though. I agree that it has the extra stuff. I would. Yeah, I prefer Tricky Towers to normal Towers. I quite like Tetris when I was younger. Yeah,
I've always been terrible at Tetris. I don't know why, but I'm bad at Tetris. Especially when it gets towards the top and I have to like quickly go, oh no, I need to put this shape down, and my brain just it's too slow.
Yeah. Well, in normal Tetris, you don't need to do that. You're normally keeping like you're clearing lines a lot lot often. And then if you get to the top, you're
Isn't it the way that the scoring works in Tetris? You actually want to not clear lines until later.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember why.
The more lines you clear at once, you get more points.
Ah, okay, right. So it's better to stack your tower.
I think the higher up. I can't remember. Maybe it's like the higher up it is, you'll skip more points. But yeah, you want to like do it at like a certain level with like optimum to like keep the game going for as long as possible.
So yeah, I can't say I love.
Yeah, I never did it for points.
I can't say I love Pac-Attack, but I'm not really a Tetris guy.
Interesting.
So
yeah, this is more interesting than I was expecting from a Pac-Man Tetris. So I don't know if I want to play it though. It just seems really annoying to like have to clear the ghosts and clear.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's do Pac-Man Arrangement. So this is the original Pac-Man Arrangement. So it's very different in terms of how it looks. But you can see it's very similar, same sort of music, same like cool animations. Yeah. I just think that the remake is a lot more fun.
Yeah. The bowling alley aesthetic is not here.
I think it might be because it's also... I think the remake's easier. There's a lot of mechanics in this version I just did not understand. That just doesn't exist in the 3D remake.
Oh, really?
So in this version
didn't add it back.
In this version of Pac-Man Arrangement, they have this mechanic where Pac-Men will come together and combine to make like Super Pac-Man that will just wreck you if you don't deal with them, but I didn't really understand. Sometimes they'll turn into like a bull that will like charge across the screen, or sometimes they'll turn into a bunny that will just hop across the screen, and it becomes really hard. Like this is the game I spent the most time on just eating my coins up, because it was basically like the only way I could finish this game, which I did finish it, was to basically just keep spamming coins into the machine to keep continuing, because I was literally getting spawn killed like repeatedly towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that was the point. I was like, I think I prefer the remake because I don't know. It was definitely easier, but it was also I also understood what was happening a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's I'm going to try and explain what I think is happening in the power up. So I think when the ghosts get together, they can form into a super Pac-Man ghost, and there's also seems to be these weird collectible things in the later levels like keys. And if you seem to collect the keys, you can power yourself up as well. So it'll basically, if you get a key or a couple of keys, it will take all of the Pac-Man ghosts and it'll chuck them into the middle, so you have time to go around the map stopped by the ghost chasing after you, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Good soundtrack.
The ghosts are nicely animated. Like, I like the idea of like super ghosts, but yeah, I don't quite understand what the hell.
I'll see if I can find the bunny rabbit.
Bunny rabbit, what?
Yeah, here's the bunny rabbit ghost.
What?
And he just hops across the map.
How are you supposed to predict that?
I don't know. A lot of the time I was just trying desperately to survive, like a lot of the time. Apparently, it's saying plus player too. Apparently, I think you can have multiple players on this arcade cabinet or whatever as well.
As co-op, I guess?
Yeah. Obviously, if I had the blue eggplant, you know, I wouldn't be in trouble.
Yeah. I suppose the way that you use power-ups is like less satisfying than the remake. Or like not the power-ups, like the new like abilities they add.
So there's like keys in the middle, and I think the keys do something. But I didn't really understand the keys, and I'm sure somebody will understand, but I did not.
Oh, I guess split to 2.
But yeah. Hang on. Oh, the credit roll, Tony. Yeah, so essentially the boss fight is very similar to the remake. It's different. Oh. There's less mechanics, so there's not like jumping over electric. You essentially just keep picking up the pellets until the next power-up spawns, and then it lets you kill the next color of ghost. Because they definitely changed a lot of the stuff in the remake in terms of overall, but I think it was for the better, in my opinion. So yeah, you pick that up, and then that destroys that wave of ghosts. And then I think you just have to collect all these, and it damages the ghost robot machine. Yeah, I just spam continues until I finish the game, basically, because I was like, oh, I'm really close to the end. Let me just finish this. You've finished the game. It told me to take a bow, but the game never really ends. Someone somewhere is being chased by monsters. Oh no.
And that's the real game? It's being what?
Thank you for playing. Tony, that's the end of the Pac-Man Museum Plus, which I finished on Game Pass. I think if you've never played Pac-Man, really, like other than just, I think everyone's played the Pac-Man game.
It's always, well, Pac-Man's always like bundled, like when you bought like the 20, 40 games in one, like there's always Pac-Man there, so...
I think it is worth, like, if you can pick up the Pac-Man Museum Plus, I think it's worth going and playing some of these Pac-Man games, because they're so, like, low stakes to just going in and trying them.
Well, check out Pac and Roll, that's what I'm going to say.
But, for the longest time, I wanted, so there's a classic platformer Pac-Man game called Pac-Man World Re-Pac that remastered the original, there's a trilogy of PlayStation 3D platformer Pac-Man games. I'm like, that sounds right up my alley. So I played those. I played the first one that is available. They've only remastered the first one so far. So the story of this game...
What's it actually called? It's called Pac-Man...
Pac-Man World. And then Re-Pac.
Pac-Man World. Re-Pac is like...
Re-Pac is like the remake moniker, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, there's this robot version of Pac-Man who wants everyone to think he's Pac-Man, so he kidnaps all of Pac-Man's friends, like... Oh, sorry, his name's Pac-Man. Yeah, so he kidnaps, like, Pac-Dog. You know, obviously, everyone knows Pac-Dog. Pac-Boy, Pac-Girl, Pac-Mum, for legal reasons. Can't have Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, it's got legs again. What the hell?
Yeah, you platform in this game. They give him arms and legs.
You need to roll.
Unfortunately, this isn't a maze game. This game does feature mazes, though. So, like, one of the there's unlockables to get, like, fruit and stuff. And then there's these doors you can unlock, and one of the doors that you can unlock will basically just let you play like a quick maze level in order to just unlock more score. That's basically the whole point to collect things in Pac-Man World, is just you can get more score. The way they do like the controls is very unique as well. Like, you know how most platforming games, to get higher, you have like a double jump. In Pac-Man, oh, he kind of rolls like Sonic as well, by the way. I actually kind of was getting a lot of Sonic energy from this game and just the Pac-Man games in general, in terms of like how varied they are and how just like balls to the walls they go sometimes.
Yeah. See that? Okay. See, why can't Pac-Man always be like this?
Giant Pac-Man.
No, make him round and biting but small without legs.
What Pac-Man did instead of the double jump is they did the butt bounce, and I didn't name that. That's literally what it's called in the game.
That is pretty cool though. That is pretty cool.
I thought it was really cool, and I was like, it is a unique way to move. But then immediately I got really annoyed by it because my initial reaction to being in the air and wanting to go higher is to double jump, and I would accidentally butt bounce midair. Because normally in a game, if it has a double jump, you want to press A in midair to do another jump.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have a double jump, nothing happens when you press A because you're already in midair. Yeah. So my muscle memory in midair would be like, okay, I'm going to press A again. And then it would be like, oh, now I'm hurtling towards the floor because my character's trying to bounce down to go back up. And then I'll just fall down pits randomly.
I would argue but the butt bounce should be on a different button, so like jump and then another button. That's how I would done it.
So you have a ranged attack, but it is like one of the weakest ranged attacks I've seen in a game. You can only use it when you pick up these pellets, which again, they literally mean nothing other than score at the end. There's a slot machine at the end of the game, and it gives you extra lives. But let me tell you, I think there's one difficulty. There's technically an easy assist mode that I never used, but that is there. And I never ran out of lives ever playing this game. So there's almost no reason to get lives. And so at the end of every mission, you have like this casino slot machine, and it takes forever to get through it. And it got to a point where I was legitimately trying to dodge the coin power-up because it was wasting so much of my time going through this slot machine at the end that I was like, it's actually a debuff to pick up the coins inside this game. So here's checkpoints.
You walk on water.
No, you go underwater. You can't butt bounce underwater unless you're heavy with the metal power-up.
That's a good idea.
And you're also immune to damage when you have the metal power-up. So you can get around like spikes and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some generally good ideas in this game.
Yeah.
But I will say like... I don't know. Yeah, like the butt bounce is unique.
No, jank, but not well thought through maybe.
The butt bounce is unique, but janky. The roll is unique for not being in a Sonic game, but is kind of janky. The throwing mechanic is like super close range and almost never worth using because you can just butt bounce in enemies instead, or you can roll into them. They're always better.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to run on the spot to move platforms. I think for Pac-Man Re-Pac, I think I gave it a 3 stars, maybe 3.5 stars on my rating. I was like,
I get 3.5 would be just above half.
No, I give it 3. I give it 3 because I gave Super Mario 3D Land 3.5.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's an above average game. I would say Pac-Man World Re-Pac is like a average platform. It's not like a outstanding platformer. It's kind of generic. It's not offensive, but it's not like particularly good in a lot of aspects. It's definitely unique, and it's a weird Pac-Man game.
Yeah.
But there was some annoying like boss mechanics that I encountered. Like there was this really annoying. So you could pick up pack slices to get more lives. I did try and collect all of the collectibles as I was in a mission, but if I missed them, I was like, okay, whatever. Like immediately after completing this game, I was like, even like before I completed the game, I was like, I'm not 100%ing this. Like I don't care enough about this game to go through it.
Yeah.
The way that a lot of the collectibles you get though is you have to unlock these fruit doors, right? And it's like you need the apple to open this door. So then you go through the level and you find the apple, and then you go, okay, I can go back to open the apple door, right? The problem is, there's like 50 different fruit you pick up, and I can never remember what the fruit I needed was. So I'll go and I'll pick up like a melon, and then I'm like, oh wait, did I need the melon? There's no way to check mid-game if that's the specific fruit that you needed for that door. So you then have to run back across the map, and then you're like, oh no, wait, actually I needed the pineapple. So then you go back and you're like, oh, well, now I have to find the pineapple. But the way it works is there's like, how many? Oh, this is the slot machine, Tony. Here we go. Log in. No. Book. Gamba. But the only reason to use the slot machine is you have the opportunity to get more lives. But it's really fucking hard to line up slot machines. At least in video games, I find it really hard to line up slot machines. I've always been terrible at them. But the reward for lining up the slot machine is an extra life. And you never need lives in Pac-Man World Re-Pac because you have infinite lives basically from the amount of lives the game throws at you.
So slow.
So and there's no way to skip this.
Yeah.
So I legitimately got to a point where I was avoiding coins because I'm like, I don't want coins. If you get all the collectibles in a level, you get access to a bonus level where you just run around picking up more collectibles for more score. Like, you have to be very intrinsically motivated by a lot of Pac-Man games to be like, I want to keep doing this to get more score. There isn't more of those like, oh, if you get all the collectibles, you get a bonus level that is like a different challenge level, or you get like a special cutscene or something. It's just like, nah, number go up, basically. That is your motivation for like almost all Pac-Man games.
Yeah, this seems interesting, but yeah, it's just not executed quite. But I'm like, oh man, like it could be fixed. Just change some few things.
I heard it's a big improvement of the original PlayStation game, and I've heard the other PlayStation ones are better. But this one was probably the most in need of a remaster. There's
a trilogy, you said? There's 3 of them?
Yeah, there's 3 of them. Like, I'm interested to play Pac-Man World Re-Pac 2. Like, see what happens with the second game. Like, it's not a game I didn't enjoy playing. I think it was just very rough around the edges. Like, you can tell the difference in quality. Like, I think in most 3D platformers, you can obviously immediately tell the difference in quality between... even the worst Nintendo platformers and, like, you know, a random 3D... Like, there's just a massive difference in polish and in terms of just general gameplay. Yeah.
I was gonna say the reviews for this game is like 86%.
How many reviews?
866.
So not a huge amount of reviews, but
no,
I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch. I think it's just not a particularly great game.
Yeah. I had some cool ideas, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'm curious.
Again, this is from the perspective of somebody who has zero nostalgia for anything Pac-Man. Yeah. So I'm going in it just completely like as unbiased as possible. But it is interesting to see, like, because this is Pac-Man is a 3D platformer, and I think that is really interesting to see.
I think other than that, like, just shouldn't have had legs. That's my thing. Just make the big one but small with.
You're just anti-legs.
I'm anti-legs and arms. He doesn't need them.
But yeah, there's quite a few like.
It's more interesting than I thought it'd be.
There's a few like different level tile sets. I don't know if I have the other one. There's like a space level. There's like ancient levels. There's like there's a carnival level, and the boss fights are very different. Like, one boss fight will have you just pushing buttons, and then the next boss fight will be like, there's a straight up like kart racing boss fight where you have to beat a bunch of clowns in a kart race, and then the next boss is like Gallagher when you're in a spaceship, like a shop, like a shoot 'em up. Like,
okay, interesting.
Like, it's varied. There's interesting stuff, and there's like a big boss fight against Metal Pac-Man is what I'm gonna call. What was his name? Talkman.
Talkman, yeah.
It's just kind of average. It's fine.
Yeah. Average with some interesting ideas. So like, yeah, I think 3 makes sense.
But Tony, there's like what I want to say is probably, because I don't think I recorded every single game in Pac-Man Museum Plus, but I played most of them, and I believe there's 14 games in there. This is a random game I played on top of that, which would be game number 15. So here's 15. I've played 15 Pac-Man games, and I gotta say, I think I generally like Pac-Man now. What do you think of the expansive collection of Pac-Man games that are out there?
I think there's a lot of misses early on in Pac-Man's life, and I think some later on ones. When did Pac-Man Roll come out?
Pac-Mania is an early one that's really good. Pac-Mania is really, really good. That's the one. That's the 3D Lego one where you can jump. That's like an early one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's an improvement, but I still wouldn't rate that high. I think it definitely improves, like, for sure.
Like for me, my favorite Pac-Man games.
Roll 2005, by the way.
My favorite Pac-Man games, I think you should try. Obviously, play Pac-Man Museum. I would recommend Pac and Roll.
Yeah.
Pac-Mania.
Pac Arrangement remake.
Pac Arrangement remake. Pac-Man Championship Edition. Pac 256.
Yeah.
I would say those are the most solid ones. I would say.
Yeah. I'm hoping for Pac-Man World Re-Pac 2 is better than Pac-Man World Re-Pac 1
we'll see
when it comes out.
Another interesting thing. Too? So the original. So I just assume most Pac-Man games are made by Japanese devs. A lot of Pac-Man games are made by like random European developers a lot of the time, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
And you know what happens usually with Japanese remakes is you'll have like a Japanese game come out and then it'll be remastered by a Western studio.
Yeah.
This is one of those rare examples of a game made by, I think, Europeans that was remastered by a Japanese studio, which you almost never see.
Interesting. No,
so I think it's
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, what are they called? I was going to see if it was in the intro. I'll look it up. Now Production, is that? Pac-Man World Re-Pac. So yeah, interesting to see like a Japanese developer's take on remastering a Western game. Yeah, that is one of the cool things about it.
That is, yeah. I don't think I can think of any other one like that's been that way around. So
yeah, solid games. Tony, after seeing this, are you going to play some Pac-Man games after me explaining Pac-Man games to you for like an hour and 20 minutes?
I apparently already own Pac-Man Championship DX.
Okay, log in. You have to give me your review. Yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah, I want to play Pac and Roll. I feel like Pac and Roll on the Steam Deck might be the way forward. I feel like it might be a great on-the-go game.
Is Pac-Man Museum Plus deck verified? That's the question.
It's not verified. It's playable. Apparently, the resolution isn't set correctly out of the box.
Okay. But it's an easy fix.
Plays, but I've not looked like in depth. That's just what's on the Steam page. I know that's not always great.
I mean, it has like some sort of X input, so it'll probably be fine.
Yes. I expect it to work to some extent, yeah.
Oh, also, you spell Pac-Man in the levels, but usually when you're spelling out a word, like you spell like Kong, or like, you know, like in Donkey Kong.
Skate.
Or skate, yeah. You only have one of each letter. Because you're spelling Pac-Man, you have to get 2 A's. And there were several scenarios where I went, oh, I've missed the A, so I have P and C and M. And then I'd find an A and I'd go, oh, okay, that's where the A is. And I'm like, no, wait, that's the second A. That's not the first A. So it does get a little bit confusing.
Oh, dear.
But yeah.
You've even solved that, but different colors, I guess.
Pac-Man Tangerine, there you go. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.